Hello fellow traders. Today I wanted to discuss technical analysis. Some consider it akin to astrology. Others bring food to the table using indicators and patterns. Personally, I believe there may be some merit to technical analysis from a supply and demand standpoint. However, it is practically impossible to prove or disprove technical analysis, and therefore it's unfalsifiable. This means that if you argue with a market technician, you will never win. 200-day moving average doesn't work? Well, what about 150-day? Did you consider weighting it? How are you weighting the moving average? What about other instruments? You can check all the billions and billions of possible patterns and prove them wrong. Meanwhile, the technician may have found the perfect indicator, or at least state that they have found it. Today, I wanted to take a tiny step towards the goal of testing technical analysis. Not all of it, of course, but just a single bit. We are testing the hammer candlestick pattern. Hammer is a reversion candlestick pattern that marks the end of a downtrend. It does look like Mjolnir. There is a head and a tail. Chartists' guides also state that the tail must be at least 2 times longer than the body, and the longer the tail, the better. There is no upper tail, or it's very small. The rationale behind the pattern is that the sellers exhaust themselves during the day, and then the buyers come in and overwhelm them. This creates a hammer pattern. Here is an example for AMD stock on June 29, 2020. The stock opened and almost immediately headed lower. Then the selling stopped, and the price action was positive on the day. The head is formed between the opening price here and the day close. The tail is below the body and reaches the day's low. Now that we know our hammers, let's start testing them. Here I have coded a function that finds the hammers and assigns buy signals. These are the conditions to be bullish. The hammer pattern is formed, obviously, and there was a price decline in the past 5 days, since this is a reversal pattern. Hammer conditions are: the tail is at least twice as long as the length of the body. Up tail is less than 3% of the price standard deviation, which is almost non-existent. And the body is at least 20% of the price standard deviation. The last condition is introduced to avoid days with minimal price movements. So let's test our hammer finder on a random stock. Here we have a company with a ticker PSA. On 4th of August 2003, hammer has been formed. So it's here. And we can do it over and over again. So we have a hammer over here. And then again we have a hammer over here, and so on. But that's not the only hammer for this stock. I'm looking for them since 2002, if the stock was listed back then. And I'm also identifying all the buy signals since then. Now let's test the hammers. We have a history on thousands of US listed stocks. I'll take a random sample of 1,000 stocks, create hammers for all of them, and calculate median return as well as the success rate. The median return is the price change over the next 5 days, while the success rate is the proportion of trades that had positive results. As we can see here, the results aren't that great. The median return is almost 0, while the success rate is around 50%. This basically means that you aren't likely to earn money using hammers under the conditions I've described above. However, you can change some of them, like the ratio of tail length to body, or the minimum previous price decline, or the number of days you hold on to the stock, and so on. Like I said, it's virtually impossible to test everything, but these conditions specifically didn't work that well. Thank you for watching my video. Please share with us which pattern you'd like to be explored next. Like and subscribe.